Human behavior, Darwin, need for survival, survival of the fittest, to be able to face vagaries of nature, fittest for humans' lust for control, own and appropriate more and more of sex, wealth and political clout, that is ability to control others' behavior. Basic separating qualities of humans: curiosity, competition with each other and dexterity. So when they are intelligent, it helps them in being curious. They also compete with each other, and when they plan something, they can execute it with dexterity. It includes dexterity of mind, planning, and also dexterity of limbs. Okay, aiming, shooting, swimming, etc. Okay, so now we revert back to our topic. This is part 2 of our previous video. We haven't named it. So part 1 name is how to avoid human extinction from the globe. And this is part 2 of that video. In that video, we were trying to tell us that the forces that are coming to cause human extinction there are 3 dynamics through which these natural forces will unleash their might and fury on the humans in particular, and through them maybe globe in general, life on globe. So there we just discussed environmental. We can't cover all of that in here. It's just introduction. So 2 more, economics and politics. I have given you the slides. We have to avoid extinction. My approach is prescriptive, but it is not philosophical approach. I am not a philosopher, but I am a person with common sense. Anyway, so we come back to our subject, human behavior. So the 2 topics, economics and politics, at the root of those 2 things is human behavior. And what for human behavior is existing? It is existing basically for the self-survival, then reproduction. Scientists tell us if you want to get rid of philosophy and see for the purpose of life from the eyes of nature, then most probably someone has put it rightly. Life is a chicken's way of laying another egg. Just it. A chicken's way of laying another egg. So chicken is there. It has to survive. For this it has to feed. It has to save itself from environmental concerns. Then it has to save itself from enemies, itself and its children. That same thing will come to those children. They will again recreate, first survive, grow, then recreate, reproduce, generate many copies, Same way humans. So all human behavior is our way of, if we are chicken, our way of, directed at our way of laying in another egg. Ultimately we are born out of egg, isn't it? It is fertilized, single egg. Anyway, that is there. And if we have to understand what are our needs for survival, the one person we cannot avoid in this discussion. Our approach is not philosophical, factual, more near to science. The one person who can guide us through this dilemma is Darwin. First of all, we should salute this person. I am posting a link of a video by Noah PBS. It's a copyright of Noah PBS. Before we venture out to form a study, an approach, we have to equip ourselves with the knowledge. And that knowledge is arising from many disciplines. We will not just discuss Darwin, we will also discuss history, economics. So I am going to give you a lot of homework. You have to be prepared for that homework. If you want human extinction to go, there has to be some focused and well-guided and informed way of countering the challenges to the human survival, global life, arising out of nature's fury and human behavior. So all behavior are at the root of human interactions. Maybe it is economic, political, or more altruistic, but it is at the root of every human expression of behavior. So what for we are created? Darwin tells us. What for we are created. So I am putting a link. That is your homework for today. You have to read it, and next video will be coming. So our basic approach is first to understand human behavior before going to venture out and analyze other problems. One thing that is very important in human behavior is curiosity, competition and dexterity. These three topics are covered in this video. You see it, you will understand it properly. The topics that are not covered in that video are humans' lust for control, own and appropriate more and more of sex, money and political clout. If you read some manuscripts on historical books on Inca civilization and the Spanish invasion of them, Spanish people had very undying penchant for silver, and they were ruthless. So Inca people, they were not that technologically advanced. Their leader said, they helped them in getting more and more silver. They facilitated them so that their existence is ensured. But what bewildered him was, he told to someone, my God, more I give, more hungry they go. I just don't understand how much of it they need. I put all my people. They are doing hungry. When they are hungry, they are doing it even when they are tired, even when they are sick. Many are dying also. But their lust, it is never ending. More I give, more ruthless they go. That is the human behavior. All of us are like this. Generally we blame politicians for all the ills in the society. But tell me, you are not like this, I am not like this. We do it at a micro scale. We want more and more girlfriends. We want more and more cars, clothes, branded clothes. We look for the range of the clothes one is wearing so that we can know or set our point of reference with respect to him, that how to behave with him. If he is ugly looking, avoid. Sophisticated. But then if he is talking like me, avoid. Hey, talk me about business, talk with me about money. But anyway, so behavior is at the root of everything. So you must see the next video. And our this video linkage, it is by Noah PBS, What Darwin Never Knew. Without seeing this video, we will not be able to understand our next things. And mind it, title of my next video will be Darwin and the Middle East Conundrum. Okay. One thing before ending this video is, who should we entrust the task of preventing human extinction, life of extinction? We are technocrats. We know the importance of organization. We know the importance of decision making. We also know how to understand a problem definition. Then proper problem definition is essential to understanding everything. One thing we humans are in decision making is, we are not able to set our egos, our cultural bias, our vested interest aside. This is why when we sit together, we fight without resoluting any matter, without understanding any problem. Simple thing is made complicated by these three forces. We have to get rid of it. Why it is essential for means indispensability of proper problem definition. I will demonstrate with an example. Before Darwin, people had a firm belief that it is Earth that is at the center of universe, not just solar system, but universe. They could have zeroed into many other conclusions, like Earth is center of solar system, but why should they should have a firm belief that even universe is at the center of? They ruled out the possibility of Earth being not at center of the Earth, universe and solar system. So their problem definition now was, they observed all the planets, satellites roaming around the Earth, mind it, roaming around the Earth. I will post that picture, embed that picture in this video itself. There, so we left last video, we were discussing how wrong problem definition creates complications. When they had firm belief that Earth is at the center of solar system, Earth center, then by keeping it stationary, they plotted orbits of all the planets and even Sun around the Earth. Now if you assume Earth to be at the center, let us think of Sun. Basically, if Sun is at the center, Earth is going around this as parabola, Sun, Earth. But if you treat Earth as the center, this distance, the movement of the Sun around the Earth will be varying. How? It will be highest, it will be lowest. But when you think Earth is at the center, you feel that at this point Sun is nearing Earth. Sun is nearing Earth. And at this point, Sun is going away from the Earth. Like this. If our first step is wrong, nobody in the Earth, no scientist, nothing can provide you the solution. I will demonstrate it with an example, but before that, let me tell you why most of the humans make mistakes in the very first step, problem definition. That is, three reasons, again rooted in the human behavior and also in our cognitive abilities. First, human behavior. Ego, cultural biases, and vested interest. These three things make a simple problem look, sound, and for their purpose complicated. And since a task is very complicated, because of these viewpoints, solutions are not easy. So when 3 or 4 people sit on are gathered together and they have to decide as to solution, firstly they don't agree on the problem definition. I tell you, like science, all sciences are one. Okay. All laws of science are fixed. Even problems are fixed. But different people see the same problem differently because of these three things: ego, cultural biases, and vested interest. You have to get rid of them. We'll help you through our journey. So, but before that, we have to demonstrate how it interferes with these three things interfere with problem definition. So, I will start with an example. Example is well known. All the ancient civilizations believed that Earth is at the center of solar system and universe. Why they believed? What was the reason for them to believe so? Two reasons. Third I forgot. Cognitive limitations, and more forthright term is bounded rationality. In fact, it covers all these three. All these three are covered by this bounded rationality. If you have to understand how these three combine to produce rationality, you will end up with bounded rationality. More near to a problem definition, rationality, more near your problem definition is from rationality, your chances of finding the proper solutions are not just 100%, 200%, certain. Again, our example will show this point also. So let's come back to our, and then we will go to this topic again and again. Okay, bounded rationality. So, first point. When you put Earth at the center of universe, orbits of all the planets etc. of the solar system will look like this. This is Earth. We all know Earth's orbit is parabolic around the Sun. In this parabolic, Earth reaches nearest to the Sun at some times and farthest to the Sun at other parts. So we have just tried to demonstrate with only three objects in the solar system other than the Earth. So their combined orbits look something like this. Search the Google for solar orbits of planets before Galileo. Now, how come Galileo know that no, Earth is not at the center of solar system, universe? For that we have to understand why the earlier people committed that mistake. They committed that mistake because of cognitive limitation. With the cognitive limitation of not able to see, observe planets, moon from very close up, their rationality, their belief in Earth being at the solar system, center of space was totally rational, but it was wrong because it was bounded rationality. Here in this example of Galileo, he could overcome one of the cognitive limitations. Telescope. Now he could see the universe, the solar system, the planets, everything roaming in space from a vantage point. He could see it in more detail, more vividly. I have an important take that rationality is inbuilt in humans. I will come to that in some separate video. You remind me if I forget that. So telescope. You observe. What observation led him to? Nearer to truth, reality. Now he could see the reality first hand because of this telescope. Now if your problem definition is wrong, all the scientists were looking for an explanation that why these planets move like this. What the hell? Complication in the problem definition. If we are going the wrong path, the path of lies. Yes, all the human problems are because of lies, cheating, and deceiving. Although they played a very great role in human survival. Very contradictory. We survive because of these basic instincts. But now we have reached the dead ends beyond which these basic instincts just will not carry us. Dead end. If we continue like this, we will extend. So we have to understand these three things more importantly and then think of the problem. So politics is going to be very important, and we will put 2 more videos in our next covering the politics. Anyway, when the Galileo put in the center of sun at the center of solar system, the problem definition changed to this. So simple. All science students know, and if you people from other disciplines, if you try to understand the nature, you will also know that nature is simple. Simple is beautiful. Nature believes in beauty. This is why it always keeps things very simple. The moment problem definition came out of fact, observation of reality, the problem became so simple. Sun in the middle, the planets around the sun, so simple. Once problem definition was okay, near to truth, it was a matter of time only that a Newton will solve the riddle. Without being Galileo first, no Newton can exist. And it will be always Galileo first and Newton later. Not this and Newton later. No, there were many Newtons before Galileo also, but they failed. I tell you, They failed. They were Newtons. Equally dexterous, cognitively able to solve the riddle. They were, maybe many of them were more intelligent, but they didn't find a solution because their problem definition was wrong. So, understanding the problems of dynamics of human extinction, the threat to life on globe, we have to have an interdisciplinary approach, and that is my aim. So whether you be biologist, whether you be space scientist, whether you be physician, chemist, psychologist, doctor, advocate, think of any profession. You have to see me if you are concerned about your children. Our concern is not just extinction. Our concern is they should get natural pure water, natural pure air, natural sources of food, by harnessing the forces of nature. And for that we need multi-pronged strategy. First we have to understand the nature, and second, how to get rid of ego, cultural biases, vested interest. It's not simple. These are required for our survival. Something necessary for survival has to be got rid of. You can't survive even by doing that also. So we will think in terms of solutions. And I tell you, technology is going to play a great role in those solutions. We have to overcome our cognitive limitations. As long as we are humans, we will have only bounded rationality, no absolute rationality. But artificial intelligence, computers, etc., can solve many of the problems. Help us overcome these limitations. Make Earth more peaceful, more blissful, beautiful, pure, and enhance the chances of survival of all species through that humans. It's not vice versa, humans and then species. Mind it. You cannot perpetuate existence of humans without perpetuating the global systems of balancing, but without maintaining the global food chain.